Good day, guys. My name is John Robert Salaga, and they assigned me the explanation of planning. So, planning, it is thoroughly defined objectives, scope, and desired outcomes. This involves setting goals, identifying resources, and establishing a timeline. So, planning is a process of, as what I've told, it's a setting goals, analyzing options, and creating a structured roadmap to achieve those goals. It involves assessing resources, generate strategies, setting priorities, implementing actions, monitoring progress, and adapting as needed. Sorry. Effective planning is crucial for success in various aspects of life, from daily tasks to long-term projects.
So, what is resource allocation? So, resource allocation is the process of assigning and scheduling available resources in the most effective and economical way possible. So, resource allocation allocate necessary human, financial, and technological resources required for the program's successful implementation. So, what is the importance of resource allocation? So, the importance of resource allocation, effective resource allocation should ensure work is divided evenly among all resources to prevent staff burnout. Effective resource allocation should empower teams by ensuring resources have the skills, knowledge, and training necessary to complete allocated work. So, aron masabtan gyud no kung unsa gyud ning resource allocation, so maghatag ko og example. So, example, di ba, sa atong barangay, naman gyud na ginahatag ang gobyerno og ang budget or resources. So, kana siya, ang budget or ang resources, nagdepende na siya, no, kung financial or kanang magamit gani nga sa barangay. So, example, ang gihatag nga budget sa ang gobyerno sa atong sa barangay is kwarta. So, kanang budget nga kwarta is gi-allocate na sa atong barangay captain or sa atong mga barangay kanang officials kung asa man na ibutang man sa example gibutang nila sa pagpasiminto sa dalan sa maong barangay. So kana siya mauna siya ang resource allocation. So ang budget nga gihatag sa gobyerno gi-allocate sa barangay para himuon og pagpasiminto sa dalan. So mao na siya no ang example sa resource allocation.
So coordination, it assigns responsibilities to team members. So for example, if magbuhat tag policy program, so dili siya pwede nga isa lang katawo ang maghandle ana, dapat daghan jud na siya kay if magbuhat og policy program para sa nang magbuhat og policy sa isa ka LGU, so daghan jud ang magkuan ana kay agi pa na siya session, i-agree pa na nila if daghan ba ang mag-agree ana nga program nga i-implement sa isa ka LGU. So dapat ang mga tao dira is naa sila coordination if agree ba sila or not.
So hello everyone. So I will be tackling about the basics of program implementation, which is the execution. Please allow me to read the definition of the execution. It carries out the tasks outlined in the plan. So this might involve a process like creating new workflows, updating existing procedures, or implementing new softwares. So in behalf of its definition, it is sometimes called a project implementation. So in this implementation, there will be putting activities outlined in your project plans into action. So this is naturally usually the longest phase in a larger process, the project management life cycle. So it depends on the resource you choose. You see it's made of 4 to 6 steps. So I will be reading the 4 steps of project management life cycle, which is the project initiation. So from the word itself, initiation, dira na siya mabutang ang word nga initiate, no? Na nakay ka ng presence of mind to initiate that particular project. Next is the project planning, so which is very important. You need to plan your project that you want to implement very soon. Next is the project execution. So dira na mabutang ang mga activities into plan sa mga mabutang na nimo dira ang mga outline sa imong mga projects. And lastly is the project close out. So mauna ni siya ang kanang hanay na tanan, organized na tanan ang imuhang plan for execution, for implementation of your projects. So next is what happened during project execution. So ready for a behind the scenes look at project execution. So let's get into during this also important step. There's a lot going on. To name a few core activities, this will be the deliverables, construction, and presentation. So this it carries out planned activities in order to find deliverables that will be shared with stakeholders. So that is the first one. And the second one is the shift to project controlling and evaluation. So the manager pivots from high level overviews and detailed documents into monitoring project progress against milestones and desired project timeline. So the third one is the project scope review. So the team members and project managers should routinely ensure that their work is still in line with definitions set in the initiation and planning phases. So lastly is the documentation, which is one of the most important if you want to implement your project or your activities, no. Project contribution should keep track of tasks as they progress, are completed, are delayed, or as they are scoped. It's easy to do this using a project tracker like monday.com, but more on that later. So common challenges during project execution. So no matter how flawless your project plans or backlog growing project is the execution phase are still subject to potential drawbacks. So in this section, we'll cover some of the most common ones and how they are managed. So the first one is the scope creep. No, is when certain changes or additions are requested, carried out after a project start, and these changes fall outside of was agreed upon in the initial scope document. So kini scope creep dirin mahitabo ang kanang certain changes sa imong mga projects, no. While scope creep isn't always available, it's best combated by thorough project planning and frequent referrals to these crucial project documents. Next is the quality control. So quality control is one of a project manager's biggest charges during the project execution stage, no. Because it will impact not only the final outcome but also things like budget and scope creep along the way. So kining quality control dira na mauna ang pinakadako nga problema sa mga managers, no, sa ilahang ma-charge, especially the funds nga ginagamit. And also setting routine check-ins is a great way to support this, as well as working in sprints, no. Next is I have here the 8 steps to successful project execution, no. I have here first one, choose and implement a project management software. So diri mabuta ang time tracking, file storage, scheduling, communication, integration with your favorite planning. And next is to delegate tasks effectively. So from the word delegate, so ikatag dapat ang mga task sa imong mga members para dali siya naay radayon, no? Next one is to provide resources that empower your team. So these are the dedicated team members on the ground of a project, all with different work styles and preferences.
So the fifth one is training. Provide necessary training to employees who will be directly involved in the program. So this ensures they are familiar with the new process, tools, or systems. So employees is required to train so that they can familiar sa mga process, tools, or even sa mga systems when implementing program. And with training, employees also provide extensive knowledge in implementing program and allowing them to get more experience. So bisan asa or unsa pa atong masudlan nga trabaho puhon, we need to train to have a better understanding of our responsibilities, and also we can learn the knowledge and skills we need to do that job. And additionally, with training, will improve employees' confidence, which can positively impact performance.
Next in line is monitoring. The definition of monitoring is it continuously track progress using key performance indicators. So, na-mention ang key performance indicators. Para ma-measure nimo o ma-monitor nimo ang imong key performance indicators, kailangan nimo first ma-define ang imong objectives, strategies o actions para ma-achieve ang imong key performance indicators. Then after that, i-implement na nimo ang imuhang plan og mag-collect na ka og data og feedback. Afterwards, if ma-analyze na ang data og result, i-compare na nimo ang imuhang key performance indicators ug ang imuhang expectation. Monitoring also regularly compare actual results with the anticipated outcomes to identify any deviations. So, ang purpose sa monitoring is ma-determine nimo whether ang project or program na na-implement as designed or nag-have ba siya og intended result. So, kailangan na kay good monitoring para maka-offer siya og steady nga direction sa imong project implementation og ma-enhance ang performance, ang transparency, ang accountability ug ang quality reporting. So, monitoring is important because the implementation of plans must be monitored para ma-measure ang progress towards the achievement of planned targets so that monitoring findings can be used to improve performance, future planning, and budgeting. So, after sa monitoring kay, dira na ta maka-come up og evaluation. And monitoring and evaluation is one of the crucial parts of implementing program and project because dira man gud nato mahibaw-an kung what is working and what is not working. So after ana maka-come up na ta og informed decision para ma-improve nato ang implementation sa ato ang project o program.
So, hello everyone. So, my assigned topic is all about feedback and adaptation. So, the word feedback and adaptation, it is very suitable for us. So, gather feedback from stakeholders and employees involved in the program. Use this feedback to make necessary adjustment and adaptation to the implementation strategy. So, feedback, it is helpful information for us or in our organization that is given to someone to say what can be done to improve a performance. So when we say adaptation, it is taking action to prepare for anticipated changes and response to effect. So like for example, we are facing COVID-19, niagit ta og pandemic. So daghan og gibuhat or daghan nga mga implementation strategy ang gibuhat sa atong government, which is daghan tag gi-adapt nga mga changes. Daghan tag gi-adapt nga mga implementation or implementation strategy para mahimo ta nga safe and malayo ta sa kanang COVID-19, which is ang i-adapt na to ang pag-wear og mask, pag bakuna, or like for example nagpabakuna ta, so ingana ang ingana ang example sa pag-implement of strategy. So thank you everyone for listening, and move to the next reporter.
So hello, good day everyone. So problem solving. Address any challenges, roadblocks, or issues that arise during implementations promptly. This might involve adjusting procedures, relocating, or seeking assistance. Like for an example, in an organizational settings, employees and management employ they use analytical skills to solve business problem, plan and manage operations, improve performance, and increase productivity. So, analytical skills manifest when gathering data, hypothesizing, integrating new evidence, brainstorming, and investigating information. To solve problem is first, i-identify ninyo ang kung unsa ang problem sa usa ka organization. Then, imo sayang subtone to complex mga ideas kung how to solve that problem. Then brainstorming para masabutan kung unsa to ang pwede nga ma-solution sa kana nga problema. So inana ang pag-solve sa problem solving. Dapat step by step, dili lang kay action ka nga magpadali-dali. Kung dili ka magpadali-dali dayon o solve nga nakana nga problem nga wala nimo gi huna-huna pag-ayo.
So good day everyone. My assigned topic is communication, which is one of the basic of program implementation. So as we all know that communication is very necessary, especially if mag-implement mo of program. So the use of various types of communication is ang media, where enable stakeholders, mga government, civil society, private sector na mag-participate in the development process, and hence allows them to influence and to contribute to the design of the activity. So, ang example is ang ASEAN Development Bank or ADB. Isa sa ilang guidelines ang pag-communicate as a tool, as a first mechanism for facilitating participation. So, nagapasabot diriya that ang ADB and other project proponents and shared stakeholders is naga-collaborate or naga-share sila of projects through the use of communication, such as channels, media, and especially is ang radio broadcasting, which is very important para ma-prove na through communicating is effective in enhancing and promoting participation through information generation and sharing. Another example is ang agricultural extension activities, which is naga-compromise og awareness, mga trainings, promotional programs, workshops, and others. So, para ma-improve ang firm practices or mga craft activity nila, so saan nila pag-disseminate og mga information. So, through the use of radio broadcast ang ilahang gigamit to gain support for an agricultural project. So, the strong support from listeners of radio programs has attracted and nurtured private sector support for the project completion, leading to an effective partnership for sustaining the project activities. So, however, ang communication is very effective because it will enable project proponents to listen to feedback, mga respond nila sa mga emergent issues, and thus in effect would have raised awareness and para ma-identify po kung sa itong mga problems or mga kulang sa ilang pag-implement or activities or any program. So, in conclusion, through the use of communication, it is very effective where stakeholders are able to acquire and share knowledge, develop understanding, enhance engagement, and take action. So, that would be all. Thank you.
So, evaluation is used to refine future implementations. So the term evaluation, it refers to the systematic analysis of data and information that relates to the work to help us achieve a better outcomes for the program. So for example, if magkandak tag program, dapat ang ato ang mga tao ana is proper trained jud sila, naka well trained jud sila ana bago ibutang diha. And also i-assess pod ang ilahang strength and weaknesses, and also in terms naman sa budget, dapat naka-allocate jud og proper budget ana para sa program. So documentation, it records all the entire implementation of the program. So there is a documentation diri nato makita ang mga challenges, mga naagian sa mga nag-handle ang program, if okay ba ang ilahang mga naagian or ano sa ba, if naglisod ba na sila, or ipadayon ba na nila ang pag-implement ng program. So dira nato na makita no, i-document nato tanan mga challenges sa pag-implement ng program.
Good day everyone. So, ang last nga i-report sa amuang topic is sustainability. So, sustainability ensure that changes brought about by the program are sustainable over the long term. So, kung naa may mausab nga dala sa programa or sa project, kinahanglan nga i-sure jud nato nga lig-on o mulungtad sa taas nga panahon. Kay naman gay uban nga like magtipid-tipid, so dili jud siya matawag nga lig-on, kay nagtipid man dili jud siya magdugay. And another definition of sustainability is might involve integrating the new processes into the organization's culture and practices. So mahimong involved jud kini siya sa paghiusa sa mga bag-ong proseso sa atong culture o practices or activity sa atong organisasyon. And that's all for my report. Thank you po and God bless.
So in conclusion to our report, and it states that effective program implementation in an administration, it requires a strategic approach, strong leadership, effective communication and adaptability, and a commitment to driving a positive change within the organization. So that would be all. Thank you.